So would you like to play Flip the Book?
Sure.
Okay. So you can choose between 1, 2 or 3. We've got 3 books. I know number 3. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is actually interesting. We only use the back part of this book because it's actually Breaking Free, which is written for pedophilic abuse victims. And
interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. And carers, and people that are advocates for them. Mm-hmm. But at the back of the book, which is going to be in another book as soon as I get myself organised, is what we call core essences. So we just work with the back end of the book. So this is about your soul. So could you give me a number between 189 and 215?
192.
192. So you have the choice of 1, 2, 3, or 4 paragraphs. Which paragraph would you like?
2.
2. Which is caring. So these are like the essence of your soul, what's within your soul. Caring means you embrace taking responsibility for nurturing the exploration of your own natural significance and the significance of others. We'll class that as your children. This facilitates being committed to respecting truth and the free will of other souls, which allows your acceptance of freedom to grow. Caring invites grace for yourself as you unshackle the chains of oppression that caused you to neglect yourself. Care creates an intention to develop an awareness of your soul. Sums you up.
Well, how fitting.
Yes. What sentence stood out for you?
The unshackle, allowing yourself to unshackle and caring for, yourself. Like that's the realization, is that nobody gets to abandon you but you. Nobody gets to come save you but you. And when we we unshackle ourselves, we start to recognize that on some level, we were allowing the experience because we knew we had a lesson in the learning, and it's not a wrongness, it's not a bad thing, but we get to choose differently when we have that awareness, and we get to unshackle ourselves, and we get to use that experience to help other people, and to recognize that, there's beauty in every single person.
Yeah. And I do, my understanding is not all souls, but there are some souls that have a lot, like this particular life, I call them, they have no rock unturned sort of mentality. So they're coming to do the big stuff. They want yes. Like pure evolution. There's other souls that are coming here to experience. There's others that are coming here, call it reconnaissance and all the rest of it. But if you've got in your blueprint, the no rock unturned, you're going to find you're going to have these massive, unfathomable sort of experiences sometimes, because that's how you're going to dredge up all the stuff that's yes. hidden in your emotional baggage. So,
and I literally use the words "leave no stone left unturned" in my book.
Do you?
So.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
It's definitely me. That's definitely. I've always been a trigger person. I've always been big change. I've always been that kind of person. And so on some level, yes, it's part of what I'm here to do. And I can see that now, and I don't have to hold judgment over the experience. I can go, okay, I've got a big story. What am I going to do with it?
Yeah, exactly. And you did the brilliant thing you did about it is that you learnt about yes. yourself within it. I'm very, very proud of you, actually. So
thank you.
Yeah, no, it's a big thing, and a lot of people don't, through no fault of their own, because a lot of things go into it. Good support, mm-hmm. And a good attitude to be able to look at things and say, okay, what can I learn about myself? And taking self-responsibility in trauma is an extremely hard thing to do, but it is the best and easiest way, which sounds like a contradiction, to walk free of it. Because until you do that victimhood stuff's going to hold that trauma and those traumatic experiences as a part of your self-definition, which is, that there's no fun in that.
No, and I mean, it's not your fault, and yet you get to be the one to choose to come out of it.
Yeah. And even for people on the sidelines, you know, like we should learn a little bit more of not jumping in there with judgment.
Yes.
And because unless you've walked in those shoes, the old saying, you don't know how you're going to respond, and you never know what's around the corner.
Exactly.
You know, like, you know, you had no idea that storm was coming to your door. So,
No.
well, thank you, Amanda, for being on the podcast, and I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.